Hey guys, thanks for tuning back into Pixel Rich Games. In this episode of Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, we are gonna do the best farming seal in my opinion. We are done with ancient material drop rate, monster part drop rate, and battlefield specific material drop rate. So if you haven't seen those yet, check out their links in the description. This time around, we are gonna experiment with the sensor registered material drop rate seal. But before that, please subscribe to the channel and help videos like this reach more people out there. If you played Breath of the Wild, this is no different than targeting materials with your sensor when farming. To do that, we just go into our materials page and target the materials that we want to farm. Now I know ahead of time that I want to run this experiment on the mission called Defend Hyrule Castle. And I know that these 5 here drop on that map, because they are also the mission's battlefield specific material drops. Let me open the battle info to show you guys. Now all of these pulsing icons simply mean that at least one of the materials we targeted dropped there, so don't let that confuse you. The reason I picked this mission is because I already ran our baseline numbers on it in the battlefield specific drop video. Basically, I did 10 rounds without any type of farming seal with no food buff, and this is what I got. After getting this, I also did another set with no farming seals but with 45% material drop rate buff from eating these. The goal is to see how much of an impact food buffs will have on its own, and this is what we got. So this shows that food buffs alone give us inconsistent results this time around. Very different from the results that we got when we were comparing monster/ancient part builds with food buffs. Now that we're done with those two, it's time to see how good sensor farming actually is. For this part of the experiment, I'll be on my favorite champion to farm on, Patricia. And the weapon that Patricia will be using is this beauty right here. 64% sensor registered material drop rate, baby. Like I said in my previous farming vids, I think that Link's Lazal Tri Boomerang is the best for material farming, but I choose not to use it because of its hidden seals. I don't want those to have any impact on our experiment to make sure that we're doing an apples to apples comparison. Without further ado, let's start farming. And we're back! After 10 runs with our farming weapon, without using food, this is what we were able to get. Now let's look at the total compared head-to-head with our baseline and food-only results. So across the board, we are seeing noticeable improvements. By the way, raw gourmet meat and raw whole bird are highlighted in yellow because they're both rare materials. Next, we combine our farming weapon with food buffs and see how they work together. Woohoo! Everything more than doubles, and 3 almost tripled our farmed mats. Look at those rare materials. Not so rare anymore. Pretty insane combo if you ask me. Now what I want to know next is the answer to the bigger question. Which is better, battlefield specific material drop rate or sensor registered material drop rate? Let's compare. Weapon only first. Look at that. Battlefield specific material drop rate outperforms sensor registered material drop rate for common materials. But for rare materials, sensor registered material drop rate weak point smashes its competition out of the park. Let's do weapons plus food buffs this time. Same differences but exaggerated. Pretty useful piece of info. To be honest, I was assuming that sensor registered material drop rate will be in the same range in comparing normal mats and would win with rare mats because they both increase drop rate by 64%. So it doesn't seem to work that way. So now that we're able to establish that sensor registered material drop rate seals do wonders for rare materials, I did another test, this time focusing only on boss drops. Again, we go back to my favorite mission, Unnatural Disaster, for this next part. What I want to test this on are the following: Ruby, Diamond, Sapphire, Hinox Guts, Giant Ancient Cores, and Lionel Guts. These are the rare materials that we can get on this mission. If you don't know yet, Ancient Cores don't drop here. Let's use the same process to get our baseline. And we're back. Now isn't that an unpleasant surprise? No wonder I'm still not maxed out on these maps. Next, let's run again with our 64% sensor registered material drop rate. After another set of 10, this is what we got. Wow! The differences is night and day. For the last set, let's use our farming weapon with food buffs. Now this is quite interesting. The drops from the first two talus increased, but it's not consistent with the drops from Hinox, Guardian, and Lionel. Okay, time for my final thoughts. I would recommend using battlefield-specific material drop rate to quickly farm for materials needed for Hylian blacksmith services. Sensor-registered material drop rate is optimal when you want to take farming to the next level. And I know more don't actually bother with that, which is why I still think that battlefield-specific material drop rate is still the best overall. Currently, there's no glaring need to get more rare materials in the end game, and until that changes, if it ever will, sensor registered material drop rate is only for the insane. I still recommend building it on at least one character, just in case. Thanks again for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like this video if you like it, thumbs down if you didn't. Hit that bell to get notified whenever I have new content out. See you on my next vid. Stay healthy, keep safe, and God bless us all.